It's perfect. I love it. You guys need to replace your Keurig with an espresso machine because they are the best. Hey everyone, it's Aubrey from Piece by Piece Living, and today I wanted to show you how I make coffee in my Nespresso machine. I believe I have the Nespresso Vertuo line, not sure how you pronounce it, but I know Christmas is around the corner and some of you may want to be purchasing an espresso for somebody else, or maybe you want to get one for yourself, so you're kind of trying to research how the machine works and if it's really worth it. Or maybe you're watching this after Christmas and you got an espresso and you don't know how to use it at all. So I'm gonna do a run through and a demo on how I make my coffee in the Nespresso machine. Okay, so I wanna show you some of the parts to the Nespresso machine. All the models are different, so if you have a different model, you might need to research that for that specific one. But if you have a model that looks like mine, you're gonna have a couple different parts. This part right here to the left is gonna be your water reservoir. You just put your water inside. I just use filtered water. And then this one right here, on this side, when you lift open the Nespresso machine, the pod that's in there will go down on the right-hand side into this little dispenser. And you can actually recycle these. Nespresso will give you a bag to recycle them. You also have this little piece right here. And this is for if you have like a smaller, I never use it, but it's if you're making like a really small shot of espresso, you don't have the cup way down there and it's splashing, so you can put this up higher. I never use that. I always leave it just on the bottom. It also has a little tray that you pull out to catch any drips. My unit also came with a milk frother. So this is the, I believe it's called the Aerochino, I want to say. All right, and then my dad actually got me this as an early Christmas gift, but it's a little pod holder for your Nespresso pods. And the only downside to the Nespresso versus the Keurig or a normal coffee pot is that you have to purchase their specific pods because they have a barcode on the back. Now I know that you can buy like knockoff third-party, they're like these little metal things where you can stick your own coffee in there, but I don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff because this machine is kind of expensive. So the bad part is you have to purchase the Nespresso pods on your own, and there aren't too many places that sell them like in store. I just get mine on the website for Nespresso, or I get it on the website for Bed Bath & Beyond, but normally it's the actual Nespresso website. And another thing is you're gonna ask yourself, is it worth it to get the Nespresso coffee machine if I already have a Keurig, if I already have a normal coffee maker, if I already have one of those pour over coffee makers, if I already have a French press? And the answer is, I think so. I have all those things. I make coffee different ways, and by far this is my favorite machine. This machine right here is way better than a Keurig. I'm just being honest. The Keurig is very watered down, but the Keurig is also a little bit cheaper, the pods, and the Keurig you can use a reusable pod. So that might be worth it for you, but as far as taste goes and consistency and the texture of the coffee, the froth of the coffee, it's all about the Nespresso machine. So I believe, and I've used this for a year, I believe that this machine is worth it and it is better than a Keurig. Let me walk you through how I make my coffee, but I just want to beforehand show you what I'm using. So for this particular espresso, I'm doing the double espresso, and it's called the Chiaro, I don't know. Looks like this. I'm going to be using this espresso pod, a cup of ice, a cup for the espresso. This is my favorite coffee creamer, and I know it's not the healthiest, and I know there are plenty of other alternatives out there, so you use whichever one you like. This is the one I happen to have on hand, and I like it. I'm also using lactose-free milk. You can use almond milk, you can use oat milk, you can use coconut milk, you can use any other alternative milk, you can use normal milk, you can use heavy whipping cream. It really just is up to you what you want to use. But this is what I use. So let me show you how I make the drink. The first thing you have to do on your Nespresso machine is turn it on. So there's a button on the very top. You're gonna press the button and it's gonna start flashing. Once it's no longer flashing and it's steady, that's how you know you can go ahead and start making your coffee. Now it is steady, the light, so I'm gonna go ahead and unlock it. It's gonna pop open. I'm gonna stick my pot inside, get my cup ready, and it's gonna pierce it. And you have to lock it in place, and then you're gonna click the button again to make your coffee. Here is the Arrowchino that I was talking about. It has 2 lines inside of it. I don't know if you can see that. The first line is for hot milk. And then the second line, which is the max line, is for cold milk or cold lattes. If you want to froth your milk, but you want it to be warm, make sure you don't go above that minimum line because it'll overflow and you'll have milk everywhere. But because I'm making an iced latte, I'm gonna go ahead and use the max line. So for the Arrowchino, I'm just going to go ahead and put milk up until, I don't know, a little bit above the minimum line. So I lied right below the maximum line, right there. I'm gonna take my creamer and just put a little bit in, like that. All right, so I have my milk inside the milk frother and I have my creamer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press this button, but I'm gonna hold it down because I'm gonna do an iced latte or an iced coffee. When you hold it down, it'll be blue. And if you were to just click it once, it'll be red, and that's for a hot milk froth. So as you can see, it's blue. I'm gonna put the lid on it just in case. The milk is done frothing. So I'm going to take my espresso cup and pour the frothed milk and creamer inside here. And this is gonna go ahead and cool down the coffee so that it doesn't melt my ice. Hopefully I can do this without spilling, but let's see. Oh, I'm scared. There we go. So here is my iced coffee using vanilla creamer. I'm gonna see if it's too sweet because sometimes I tend to over-sweeten it. Nope, it's perfect. I love it. You guys need to replace your Keurig with an Nespresso machine because they are the best. If you get a Nespresso machine for Christmas or you're thinking about just getting it not when it's Christmas, I highly recommend it.